the right time. All right, we are ready to wrap up Sage Demo Day. Thank you so much for joining us thus and seeing all these wonderful demos. Hopefully, you're getting a lot out of it. Hopefully, you're seeing some solutions that can help you. And Daniel, are you ready to end and wrap up our Sage Demo Day? We have Profix in the house.
Yes, thank you very much, Amy. Appreciate you saving the best for last here.
That's right.
I will go ahead and just share my screen.
All right, you're good to go.
Perfect. So thank you guys for holding out here. I'm Daniel Schmiel with Prophix. I'm one of the solutions consultants on the solution engineering team here. Before I hop into a little bit of the product here, I'm just going to take us through a few quick slides just to set the stage a little bit. So Prophix is a purpose-built tool for the mid-market. We have over 2,500 customers across 110 countries. We've established ourselves as the go-to platform for finance teams looking to move beyond spreadsheets and disconnected systems. And what really sets us apart is our fanatical focus on the customer experience. So from full implementation support to proven customer success methodology, we back every customer with accountability and proven results. We are consistently ranked among the highest in net promoter score for our industry here, which is a testament to the impact our platform delivers. So, as a company, we're well capitalized and backed by HG Capital with a unique model of employee joint ownership, which means the people supporting you are just as invested in the success as you are. And what makes Prophix so powerful is that it brings all your financial and operational data into a single intelligent pair. So well in across, HR, Dix is going to integrate with over 400 plus data sources through multiple methods of connection, whether that's API, flat file, Excel-based imports. So that means you're not manually stitching your reports together. The data flows in automatically, and you're always working with a single source of truth here. So on top of that unified data model, we layer powerful tools for planning, forecasting, reporting, and we even now have AI-driven insights through Prophix Copilot, which is built directly into our platform here. So this entire experience is designed to fit within your existing workflows, whether you're working in Excel, Power BI, distributing PDF reports still. Everything here is going to be backed by our central security, our audit logging, and we just have a fully governed environment. And I'll show you how all of that works. So whether you're going to be managing your cash flow, workforce planning, reforecasting expenses, Prophix helps Sage customers make faster and smarter decisions with confidence in those numbers. And along with that, I'll just show you a second slide here. But the beauty of Prophix One is that we're not only integrating your data into our FP&A tool here, but we're also going to be integrating it into our platform. So whenever you're ready to scale up, that data can get pulled into one of our many tools, whether that's account reconciliation, intercompany management, our different financial consolidation tools, reporting analytics, or budgeting and planning. And I just really want to make that clear that Prophix One isn't just a collection of applications, it's a true financial performance platform. It's designed specifically for the mid-market, from close and consolidation to planning and forecasting. Everything gets unified into a single experience here. And what I think really sets our platform apart is that where the magic happens here. So you've got one centralized place for your data integrations, your security, your user management, and all of your workflow orchestration. That means you're not jumping in and out of disconnected tools. You're operating from a single pane of glass with a shared data model underneath it all. So whether you're reconciling accounts, managing disclosures, building a forecast, or analyzing your performance, your entire team is reading from the same source of truth here. So think of Prophix as your command center for finance, and you as the conductor, orchestrating all your processes in one place without any friction. And with that, I'll actually just hop into our tool here. And what you'll see is that Prophix is cloud-based and it's actually browser-based. So we can access Prophix from any device, no matter where you are. And now that I've launched into the FP&A Plus tool here, you'll see that I'm brought to my available dashboards. And these are just going to show me all of my most valuable data and KPIs at a really quick glance as soon as I log in. And the data you're seeing here, this is going to be integrated live from from Sage, any of your other ERPs, and we can host multiple connections at once. So everything you're going to see here is always live and it's always accurate. And when it comes to the actual dashboards themselves here, everything's configurable. And then your users or your administrators can configure their own dashboards, or you can configure dashboards for different individuals, groups of individuals, or you can even have dashboards for your entire organization. And I know you're immediately going to flag up some concerns about data being shown to everyone, but within Prophix, security is truly integral. So it's tied throughout the platform. And then when it comes to dashboarding, users only see the data that they're allowed to see. So you can create organization-wide dashboards, and you never have to worry about sharing data to people that shouldn't be seeing it. And with that, once we're in our dashboards here, you can see that we have some charts set up, but the nice part of Prophix dashboards is that all of these charts are interactive. So if we're looking at our OpEx variance chart here, you can see that we have a line for our variance. So like we can pretty quickly see that something's going on with our marketing. Our actuals aren't performing to our budget currently. So with that, you can actually just click right in, and that'll take you deeper into some more aggregate level data. So now within the marketing side, you can now see which cost center is actually causing that variance. And we can see it's advertising at a really quick glance. If you wanted to dive deeper into that, you can just go to the linked report right behind the chart. And this will bring you into a nice summary OpEx variance report here. So you can see we're taking a look at our marketing department. We can then see the same data we were seeing in our chart. And you can see that advertising is causing that difference here. And actually, before we leave dashboarding, I'm just going to spike out really quickly for us here that with our Prophix AI agent here, we actually have some natural language insights. So if we click on our chart insights tool here, you'll see that this is actually natural language generation that gives us some quick insights into the chart here. So these are really helpful for just kind of spiking out key information without having to analyze the chart. And we have a few AI powered features, so I'll spike those out as we go through the platform here. And just bringing it back to our chart here, we can actually see that, with our data, we have some additional comments left in here. And so when I'm speaking about our Prophix AI agent here, it's going to be Prophix One Intelligence. And that's the engine that's embedded across our platform. And it's going to be delivering real-time insights automation for your finance teams. It's going to learn from your platform-wide usage. It's going to personalize your experiences here. It's going to streamline some processes for us. So even when it comes to our actual commentary for our reporting here, these are actually AI generated. So we can really quickly come in and just get a really nice baseline for the numbers we're seeing here. This will give us a summary. And this is a great jump off point for your team. You can either leave it as it is, or you can go in and edit this further. But let's say we were doing an analysis for our advertising variance. So you can see here that advertising, we have our variance being caused here. If we look at our comment, we can see that this is being driven by our product marketing division. So instead of jumping into a different report, we actually have page filters built into all of our Prophix templates here. So if I wanted to go from my marketing department down into my product marketing department, where this variance is being caused, I can do so just with those page filters. And you'll see that takes me down to my more granular level data here. So Prophix is fantastic in that manner because you can create a single template to empower your teams to look at multiple departments, multiple different time periods. And you can set this up for a lot of different dimensionality. So it makes your reporting very dynamic, and it allows you to create one report that gets used by all of your different users. And with that, the other piece that I want to spike out here is with our Prophix Prophix central model, when you see your actuals or your budget numbers or even this variance line here, this data doesn't live in this report. It actually lives in the back end. So it gets integrated into Prophix, it goes into our central model. And then whenever we pull this combination of data, it's always going to come through as the most recent, the most accurate data. And it ensures your entire team is looking at the same thing. So in this case here, if we wanted to even come in and take a look at the underlying data values that are causing this variance, we can come into our drill across tool here. And now, like everything you're going to see today, it's entirely configurable for you. So this is just how we have this drill across set up here. But what this is, it basically gives us a little looking glass into the backend table that's generating that value for us. So we can see the different transactions that make up that value. And we can even come in this scenario and take a look at the linked invoice associated with that. So this allows your finance teams to be able to access data on their own as soon as they see any variances coming on. And with that, we can just quickly verify that this was for our product marketing campaign. Close out of this and come back into Prophix here. And say we wanted to then take a look at these numbers a little bit further. If we wanted to analyze our advertising trends, say the spend for the year, we can come in and we can analyze that data directly here. And what this is going to do is it's going to strip away all of the formatting for that report. And it's just going to show us those underlying values coming in from our central data here. So what you'll see now is that we're looking at the same data view. But in our ad hoc tool, it's created so that you can essentially really quickly pivot on this table without having to set up anything complex, say the way you would do it in Excel. So if we want to take a look at our advertising spend across the year for our actuals, we can actually just drop and drag our different dimensions onto that. So now what you'll see is we're looking at our actuals for advertising or different marketing departments here, and we're looking at it for the entire year now. So with this, I can see that I have some high spend in September, some high spend in June, and my other numbers remain pretty low. So I could continue to break down this data, slice and dice it into what I think matters to me to find the underlying story for this. But I'm also empowered here with our Prophix Copilot. So I can actually come into our chatbot here, and I'm just going to paste in a question here, but it's going to be, how did spending on advertising impact revenue for Stark Industries in the first 3 quarters of last year? So as this agent thinks away here, what I just want to spike out is that we're not going in and we're not, specifying which GL accounts we're looking for. We're not specifying the keys for Stark Industries or, the exact dates. We've given it a pretty vague question here. It's going to take a look at our advertising, how it impacted our revenue for a specific company under our industry here. And it's going to analyze it for the last 3 quarters of our last year. And if you're familiar with AI at all, one of the most important things is kind of slowing down that chatbot nowadays, just so that it can come in and think a little bit clearer. And you'll see here, it's going to make all of its assumptions. So it's actually going to spike out which GL accounts we're looking for, which data versions we're looking for, and it's going to continue to think away for us. And just like that, you'll see that the chatbot has now provided us a graph of that data we're looking for. So it spikes out the different quarters. It gives us our gross revenue as well as our advertising spend. And then I'll also show here that for revenue growth and advertising growth, these aren't actually calculations that we have in our model currently. This is just something that the chatbot came up with on its own to provide us that additional data. And you'll see that it gives some key observations. It tells us a little story about how our spend is going, and it'll actually prompt us to dig a little bit deeper into this data. But for now, I think that's enough. I just wanted to show you that with the Prophix Copilot here, instead of leaning on your analysts or your analysts going in and digging up for data, they can actually just come into the chatbot here, no matter who you are, and you can consult it. You can actually use it as a little bit of a whiteboard for any of your financial questions, and you can use it to kind of explore any ideas you might have for specific analytics, and you can see what it'll provide for you. This is essentially like having ChatGPT tied to your backend financial tables. And like I mentioned, we differentiate our chatbot as well with that Prophix Central security. So no matter what user comes into here, the chatbot is going to take a look at their security settings, and it's only going to provide them the information that they're allowed to see. So there's no worries about data security in here, as the chatbot's going to handle all of that for us. So we've seen a little bit of analysis for a potential um, variance here from our actual to our budget. So I'm just going to take us back to the dashboard here. And along with our charts and KPIs, you can actually pull up your different favorited reports, as well as our different Prophix tasks here. So these tasks are driven by our workflow manager tool, and they can be a combination or a multitude of different tasks. So those can be offline data entry, online data entry, different approvals. You can also use this for kind of kicking off your forecasting. You can use this for seeding different versions after you've approved your budget. But for now, let's take a look at our OpEx planning. Since we have a variance, we'll know we want to correct this for next year. So I'll open the task that was assigned to my user here. And with that, it'll open up another template for us. So what we'll see here is now we're doing our budgeting at a GL level across every month. So you can come into Prophix and you can directly say we wanted to increase our spend for agency services. You could directly type that in. You could update it for the month, or you can come in and simply enter a total value for the year. And our agent is actually smart enough here to realize that we're entering this at a yearly level. And it's going to ask us if we want to spread that evenly across the months, if we want to maybe spread that number based on the existing data that we already have, or we can utilize the model to even utilize different spread factors that we might have set up. For now, I'll just spread evenly across the months, and you'll see the tables update here immediately. And with that, let's say we wanted to do some data entry for advertising. You'll see if I try to type a number in here, it's going to give me a little pop-up. So this account can only be updated using line item schedules. So that's because we're actually using our line item tool here to still plan at the GL level, but we can actually now plan at different line item levels. So you can actually force your department heads to come in here and break out their budget a little bit for the year. And just like typing it in for the months, say we wanted to run a marketing campaign here, we could do so, and then you would just simply enter the different values across the months. And when you hit save, it'll be saved at the line item level, and it'll get populated to the template at the aggregate level there. And the other thing I want to spike out here is our IT department. Say we wanted to do some more aggregate level planning. What we have set up here is we actually have a comment saved. So we can see that Sophia Anderson attached a detailed IT spend by vendor. So I could download and access this template from here, but I already have this pulled up, so I'll just open it in my browser. But what you'll see here is a regular Excel template where we're actually now doing our IT planning by our different vendors. So if we wanted to update our ad spend for, say, our agency here, we can come in, update this for a few months, and I'll just drag this across. But what we're doing is we're utilizing our team's Excel planning template that they're used to. They've been using this template for years. And what we're doing is we're doing our data entry in here, but with our Prophix for Excel tool, we can actually push this data directly back into Prophix. So if I hit save to Prophix here, you'll see that save completed successfully. And then if you keep your eye on the IT line here, when I refresh this template in Prophix, you'll see those numbers update immediately for us based on what we just put in there. So you don't have to bring all of your modeling to Prophix at the very beginning. You can keep what works for you in Excel, and you can push that summarized data into Prophix for easy comparison and consolidations. And like you saw, your supporting documents can be linked to a cell comment, which is going to follow the data through the platform, ensuring your Excel justification is always accessible and it's always transparent. And with that, I'll also show you that when it comes to audit logging here, we can actually take a look at the data history for any of the numbers we've entered. So if I click on this, it'll actually show me what user entered what value at what time, so we can keep an audit trail of this in case there's any unexpected updates. And one of the last items I'll just spike out for us here is at the top of the template is we have our payroll costs. So you'll see that they're grayed out, and when I try to enter something in here, it's going to tell me that these cells are currently locked out for data entry. And that's actually because I have a much more granular personnel planning model set up in Prophix already. So if I come back to my tasks here, I can actually access my personnel planning task. And what this is going to do is it's going to open a much more detailed schedule for me because I like to do my planning directly at the employee level and not just the granular GL level. So this will load in here. And you can see that this is now a list of all the employees that I'm responsible of doing my planning for. So say we wanted to increase Cheryl Sampson's salary. I can come in, I can give her a decent raise here for next year. And I'll also update Cheryl's department because I know that next year she's actually going to have a department change. And that's going to come along with her salary increase. But essentially, mid through our planning year, we know that Cheryl is going to be moving over to the field marketing department. So we'll make that selection here. I'll okay this, and we'll hit OK. Now, when I come in and I actually update my template here, what's going to happen is that after I entered Cheryl's base salary, you'll see that her total earnings are going to update as well, along with her total benefits, her annual increase here, and her payroll taxes. And all of these items are actually calculated within our model. So all we have to do is plan for her salary and everything else gets added in. And with that update, or sorry, with the department change as well, what that's actually going to do is allocate Cheryl's costs across those different departments. So for the first 6 months, it's going to be allocated under her previous marketing department for product marketing. And then once that change comes, she'll be added into the allocation for the actual field marketing team. And with our central data engine here, when I go back to my OpEx planning template, you'll see that when I now update this template, all of my payroll costs are going to flow in from my previous calculations, and they're going to get updated here for me. So just like that, you can come in, you can do your personnel planning, you can do individual GL level planning, and you can even break it down at the line item schedule. But most importantly, I think with our Excel add-in, you actually have the option to utilize your team's existing templates. So when you're ready to set up more granular planning, like say for your vendors through IT in Prophix, we'll be here to support you for that. But if you want to get up and running very quickly with say just your OpEx planning, we can support you with our tools, and it also saves on costs of having to train all of your individual department heads as well at the same time.